Hi, this is Terry in the beautiful Black Hills of South Dakota. And today I'm ready to show you another 6-inch block that we have been doing for quite some time. And this one is called Weather Vane. And it's up here in the corner. So to make Weather Vane, we need to do a combination of half square triangles and flying geese. Now both of those I know you've done before. If you haven't, I'll give you a quick lesson on half square triangle. I'll start with it. I use a 1/4 inch tool to mark my seam lines. This is where I'm going to stitch. So I get my 1/4 inch tool on there, I mark it with a pencil, I have a line, and now I'm going to match it up. Now you got to remember that line is your stitch line. So on this one, one side, and I just flip it and down the other side. Okay, I have my stitching done. Now I'm going to cut from corner to corner, press, and I press to the light. Sometimes they stick a little because these are small pieces. As a reminder, all the cuts that I use, all the size, are on our blogspot, fabricjunctionjewels.blogspot.com. And now I'm going to place them in my little, I'm going to call this a 4-patch, so it's kind of like we're putting a little 4-patch together. So I cut my dog ears, I place my pieces, go to my machine, I keep them in that order. I do the right one goes over left, I line up, and the inner corner is the most important one, so I always line up the inner corner and let everything else go outward. Sometimes it matches perfect, sometimes one's just a smidgen longer than the other, but I want to make sure that the inner part of my section is lined up, because that's, to me, the most important part. I have my two pieces together. I do not separate them. I open them up. I send my seam allowances, each one a direction. I press them to get into each other really close. I'll show you what I mean here. That I push them so that when I open it up, the two are right on top of each other. And then, as you can see, my one square is going to be just a smidgen longer. It's not what I prefer, but it does happen. The other side lines up much better. So once I have that sewn, then I press it. Go, and that goes towards the inside. Now our flying geese. Now this one here, we're going to mark our seam line again, but this time it's going to be from corner to corner, because we'll just trim away that little extra. So I marked both pieces from corner to corner. I generally like to sew from the center out. Not as apt to have that little corner dip down into the machine. This is why I like to go center out. Trim. And press. And then the other side, line it up. Get it turned around. Now that side's going to be a little bulky, so I know when the machine starts out just a little slower, and so do I. So we got to keep it up on that line. There we go. To the corner. Then we're going to trim and press. Okay. A lot of times these will line up exactly where I want them. But to be on the safe side, I like to make sure I match my centers. So I do a little press. That one I folded the right side together. This one I'm going to fold the wrong side together. Get it lined up. So one will fit into the other. So I line up those two little dips that I pressed, those little creases that I pressed, and now I'm going to sew my piece together. And that's just to make sure that everything's right in the center, so then if I square up, I'm not trimming more off of one side from the center than I am the other. I have my parts together. Now look at it as a 9 patch. So as a 9 patch, we sew together. You have your left side, the middle, the right. But I'm going to do it from your perspective because I'm not going to sew it together, but because I know you can. So this is what you're looking at. And you have your left side, your center, your right side, and you'll take your two pieces and you'll put them together and you'll line up that seam. So you have a seam there, you'll line it up and stitch. And then grab your next one. You don't have to worry about it lining up a seam, and stitch, and your next one, and then you come and do your last one. I leave it all together, I don't take it apart, and then I sew the other direction. So now that I have my 9 patch sections all sewn together, I'm going to make it into a potholder. And on this one I added cornerstones. So I have my strips, I have my cornerstones all set. I sew them all together. I get a piece of backing, one piece of batting, which is cotton batting, and then I use Insulbright to give me that nice protection when I use my potholder. I place my block, I quilt, and this one I did Stitch in the Ditch, which I tend to do quite often because I just do. It's a, you know, it's a technique I learned years ago, and I still just do it a lot. Add my binding, and then I have my set of potholders. So, thank you for watching us here at Fabric Junction. Check out our website, junctionfabric.com, and like I said, if you want the cutting instructions, they're located at fabricjunctionjewels.blogspot.com.